He's like, hey man, I got a motor for you. He's like, it's $1,500. And I was like, all right, cool. He's like, the motor's gonna be at my shop. I was like, it's all there? Like the motor? He's like, yeah, we're gonna go pick it up Thursday. I was like, well, why are we meeting at like 9 p.m.? It's gonna be there Thursday at 9 p.m. I'm like, okay.
The guy's still riding around with it.
It's like this kind of shady garage. I was like, all right, man, like I'm gonna bring my friend's truck. He's like, you bring anybody with you? And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna borrow his truck. We can lift the motor because they're Civic motors. So they're not that heavy. I show up and he's like, all right, man, we're gonna go get the motor. It's over here. I'm like, okay. He's like, can you give me a ride? I said, sure. I was like, I don't know what the going on, but I'm gonna go get a motor and I'm happy. I'm gonna have a fast car now. Well, he hops in my truck and he's like, this is your truck or your friend's truck? Oh, it's my friend's truck. He's like, cool. I'm like, okay. You know, we pull up and he's like, all right, I need you to pull over here. He's like, I got the keys. I was like, wait, the motor's not out of the car? He's like, no, I'm gonna go bring the car back to the shop. Now I'm like, okay, this is a little weird, but I'm in it now. Like I'm committed. I'm like, this is my motor. I'm gonna go get it. Or he's like, he's holding the key. I was like, it's your friend's motor he's selling me? He said, yeah. Next thing you know, he takes off running, unlocks, has the whole system, gets in the car and like takes off. We drive it all the way back to the shop. Now I'm like, I think that car's stolen. He's got the keys though. I'm like, so it's not making sense to me. And it is a thing to strip cars and sell them for parts. I was like, well, maybe he's worked a deal with his friend. I just happen to be the guy that gets the motor. So like we go back to the thing. He's like, all right, man, here's your motor. He opens it up. He's like, look, see, B16. Why don't you come back tomorrow? We're going to get the whole thing out. Okay. Now, mind you, I'm naive. A lot of red flags had just gone off for me, but I was like, I'd already given the money. So like, I wanted my motor. I'm like, he has my $1,500. So like, this is my motor now. He's like, come by after 8 p.m. It's nighttime again. Right. So I show up and he's like, hey man, I need your help getting rid of the shell. I said, oh, so it was stolen. And he's like, no, man, we just got to get rid of the shell. So I'm like, part of me is playing stupid here. But the other part of me is like, yeah, I just bought a stolen motor. It was one of those moments that I was like, in hindsight, I should have left. But $1,500 when you're like 20 years old, 21.
I want my $1,500 back.
I was like, I want my money or the motor. Fast forward, I helped the guy, and I never saw that car again in my life. Now I was like, yo, where's the motor? A couple days go by and he's like, I got your motor. I was like, okay. He's there, I'm gonna drop it off, you know, at this performance shop. Go to the performance shop, obviously no motors there. And now I'm like, this ripped me off.